Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. This is me, your brother, your friend, Humanist Steven, on the show. I want to say a very big thank you to every one of you, lovely Asemota, Henry 72FG, and Doris Odion. I want to say thank you guys for actually coming in on time to wait for me on the show. I want to appreciate every one of you who have been a great supporter of our jobs here on Naija Watch YouTube TV. If today is your first time, please, of being with us here on the show, please kindly subscribe to our channel, Naija Watch YouTube, on the YouTube, and give us some likes, some comments, and if you are here, JP, good afternoon, man. And if you are here also watching me from Facebook, please kindly follow me on Matter Rising with Humanity Saving and also United, Southtown, Nigeria. So this is going to be another very intriguing day again because I come here to give you the latest news that is in town. Now, before I start, I want to say something. There's already an issue in Benin City right now between the Asian Agenda Movement coordinator, convener, comrade Lucky Rupe, and Abat Albaze, the crack team, known as the crack team boss. I want to say, guys, please, 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 Edo is one. We are indivisible people. Okay? The essence, the Benins and the Afemas are one and only people. They are from the same progenitors. Okay? It is just language differences, language corruption that makes them to speak something different from one from another. So we are the same family, the same people, from the same, origin. And there is no minority in Edo State because family do not have minority guys. And I am 100% in support behind an ASAN 2024. So I'm going to give a video on that, sooner or later. But I want to beg you guys, please, sheathe your sword right now. Let's unite together to make Edo a very great state. That's my plea, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys for all you are doing, for our beloved state, Edo State. Having said that, let's go right now to the show for today. Let's go right now to the show for today, and there's going to be a little bit intriguing day today for us. I can promise you that. Now, the first on the show here right now is this woman. You all know this woman, Obi, Madam Obi. Ekweselu, or whatever they call her, the woman that was actually one of the people that championed the Bring Back Our Guest campaign, during the Jonathan administration. We all know this lady, we all know this woman, the woman that actually betrayed her own, all because of what she thought she was going to gain. Okay, this was the woman that actually betrayed her own because she wanted power or because she felt she was doing the right thing. She actually did everything she could, to undermine the office of the president at that time, which was President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Azikiwe Jonathan, as his full name was being called. So this woman did a lot of things that she actually sold herself out to the Fulani Caliphate, and they used her, they dumped her, and at the end, she's crying wolf. So she's going to be my first point of call today. Sorry, guys, as I deal on this very important, day, the analytical, news that is emanating from Nigeria. Okay, guys? Now, and the news says, be careful when working with Fulanis because their intentions are different from what you think. This is coming from Madam Obi Ezekwesili. Says telling be careful when working with Fulanis because their intentions are different from what you think. Now, she brought up this whole idea because of this very particular lady. I think some of you should know this lady. The one sitting very, very close to her on black jeans, or black pants, that lady there. So the first one there is Aisha. The one very close to her is Usma, which was the the SY MD of MPA, and the last person there is Madam Obi. Okay, guys. So she's already crying now because of what she went through. Look at what she said. I was doing Bring Back Our Guest project with Hadiza Usma Bala in 2014. I didn't know she was sent to the project by Fulani leaders to tarnish the image of Goodluck Jonathan for Muhammadu Buhari to win an election. Immediately after the election, she left the project and was given appointment as MD Nigerian Port Authority. Now I believe that Chibok guest kidnapping was planned to tarnish Goodluck Jonathan image for President Muhammadu Buhari to win election. That quote I just read to you now was from Madam Obi, lamenting how she had been treated by these people. Okay, guys. And there are some comments here that I'm going to just read to you. One, Emmanuel says, sorry, you are just getting to know them. You were all over the place condemning your own, while today you can see they are still hailing the legendary failure of their own. Even their terrorists, they refuse to condemn them because they are theirs. This is one thing I said, I've been saying for quite some time right now. The South, we are good at fighting ourselves. Today, she has realized that she made a very grievous mistake by actually supporting these people against their own. Now she has now understood that what actually happened there in that 2014 Bring Back Our Guest was all a shamble. It was just a setup by the power tussle mongers in order for them to keep the people perpetually under slavery. Today it is clear, it is crystal clear that you can never compare the government of President Ebele Jonathan with President Buhari. It is not even comparable. Jonathan had gone far ahead of him in all ramifications, and today they are not saying anything, even with the rate of insecurity, the rate of employment, the rate of debt will not become the capital of poverty, will not become the third most dangerous country to be governed, will not become the most terrorized nation on earth, having the three most deadliest terrorist group in the world in one nation. And yet we are not at war. All this never happened during the time of President Goodluck Jonathan. While people of this woman's caliber were all around, jumping from one, a television station to another, destroying our own, all in the name to write a name in gold before this very particular group of people. So today she's crying wolves because she has been used and abandoned. So it's a pain to her now that she has become, nobody that he did during that very particular, time. So the next news we have is removing history from school curriculum is an evil agenda, says Governor Ortom. I've said this in many of my videos that removing history from school was one hell of a thing that the caliphate did in order to make us not to know our history. And any man who does not know his or her history is lost forever. And that is why today I am one of those who is advocating for the reintroduction of histories in our schools. I'm one of those that is making it mandatory that every parent should be mandated to begin to speak their own dialect and reintroduce the history of each community, of each state, of each local government back again into place. Like in Edo today, we have three major ethnic groups: the Beninese, the Asians, and the Afemas. History should be reintroduced again to tell the exact story of how these three major ethnic groups that make up Benin, how they came into existence. Now, history should also be put to tell us how the Jaws who live in our land, how they came into existence. We need to know who we are. Because a man that knows his origin can never be deceived. Okay? A man that knows his origin can never be deceived. We must begin to clamor for things that will bring back the lost, glory of our kingdom, of our state, of our nation. The Beninese are so vast. I was listening to my brother, Mr. Kunz, on Great Benin Emancipation, when he was giving a very vivid narrative on how the Benin Kingdom actually started from Paidu down to Oguso-Owedo, and before there was, an intermediary between Oguso-Owedo and Oba the first. And I was so intrigued. I was like, wow, this guy has done a wonderful job. Within 2 hours, he was able to break down the entire history that has gone through 2,000 and more years, over 2 millennia. He broke them down in 2 hours. Everybody was amazed. Everybody was baboozed. And that is what we need. And many people who was on the show on that day have not actually maybe heard of that very vivid, narratives of the history of Benin. But we don't want to do it on social media alone. We want it to be reintroduced back again into our classes, where our people should be taught where we actually came from. You must know your root. You must understand who you are. You'll begin to see where you came from and what actually transpired many years back. That will give you some level of strength and courage facing challenges that is coming your way. See, we talk about the Western world today. The Western world today, what they are enjoying today is not what they did. The enjoyment of the Western world today is what happened many decades ago, many centuries ago. What their grandfather did is what they are still benefiting from today, because history was told, so they knew their lineage. They were able to trace their lineage, and by tracing their lineage, they also trace every success that they have made in the past, and they go back to go and check how they succeeded in doing what they did. For example, before the invasion of Benin in 1897 by the British, the Benin was already, champions in bronze. How did they develop such? Then there was no picture. There was no photo. So how were they able to now, look at people's face and actually design the people's face on the sculpture that they produced? That was high level of intelligence. We must go back to know, how did they get all this? How were our history being preserved by people who never went to school? These are all ancient civilizations that we must go back to. History can only help us to do that. Okay. Benin Governor Samuel Ortom has described as evil the removal of history as a subject from secondary school and primary school curriculum by the federal government. Speaking on Friday in Makurdi, the state capital, the governor said Benin will legislate a solution for the teaching of history, even if it is for internal consumption of knowledge about how the people of Benue came to occupy what is called today Benue. Removing history from our curriculum is an evil agenda. So in our schools, even if we do it and it is not accepted for examinations to be conducted at the level of SSCE, let's do mock exams. This will be within us, because we must know our history. We must know how we came here. That is wonderful. I so much have respect for two people right now, Wike and Ortom. They speak bold. They are not afraid of anything. They are ready to defend their people, even with their lives. This is what I want the government of the South to put up. Look at what the Prime Minister of Israel said, we are ready to defend our people with our life. Only 10 people died. Only 10 people died in Israel, and Israel is bombarding the entire Gaza. Only 10. They're having press conferences. The military are coming out to tell people how many have been killed, why they are doing what they are doing, for only 10 people. So Nigeria, they will tell you Who asked them to go and build their buildings at the borders? People die in thousands in Nigeria. The president of Nigeria never for once come out to even talk to the people. Never, because he doesn't care. Our lives are unimportant to him. He sees nothing good in the people. Okay, guys? So we must know when we sojourn here and know people that came to join us. We must know what happened in 1800. All these are very important. If we don't do it, we are failed as a generation, and posterity will not forgive us, said Ortom. Okay? He also instructed that vernacular should be taught in Benue schools beginning from next academic session. This I wholeheartedly 100% support. This is where we are missing it today, particularly in the South. Like I said, with the Benin's, particularly Benin. Do you know, I have a family friend who's an Ishan guy. Every Ishan child practically speak Benin. I mean, speak Ishan. Every Igbo child practically speak Igbo outside the shores of Nigeria. Every Yoruba child practically speaks Yoruba outside the shores of Nigeria. Not to talk within the geographical location called Nigeria. But Benin children born in Benin City, lives in Benin City, grew in Benin City cannot speak Benin. Even when their parents are not even good in the English. All they do is to do a cut and lay, vernacular English, and heap it on these children. They end up not understanding good English. They end up not being able to speak their mother dialect or their father dialect. They end up also not even able to do anything. In a situation of war, how are you going to save yourself? In a situation whereby there has to be a communication between the father and the child, in an environment whereby the father needs to speak a code to the child, how will he be able to get across to the child? So teaching of vernacular in schools is also very, very important. I want to also call on Governor Obaseki to actually emulate the same process that Ortom is emulating, and let's bring back vernacular into our schools. Okay, in the South, in Edo South, they should teach them the Benin language. In Edo Central, they should teach them just the way it was before. They should teach them Asian language. Then in Edo North, they should teach them the African language. That's how it was when we were in school years back. So if you're an Asian person living in Edo, you have to learn Edo language in school, not the Benin language, not Asian language. And if you're an African person living in Edo Central, you have to learn the Asian language in school. That's how we grew up. So that we actually know who we are and what we stand for. He also instructed that vernacular should be taught in Benin school beginning from next academic session, September 21, along with history as core subjects. I love this man. The removal of history studies from primary and secondary schools curriculum became effective from the 2009 and 2010 academic session, with the federal government launching a new curriculum known as the new basic education curriculum for primary and junior secondary school. The decision was, however, met with criticism, with many describing the reason as mere excuses. Following the criticism in 2016, the Minister of Education, Adamu, announced that the federal government is taking steps to restore history as a subject in primary and secondary school curriculum. The reason why is this: they want to make sure that we do not know the truth. I think one case they said they don't want our youth to know the truth, yet they want them to sing stanzas 2 of the national anthem. Guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know. In love and honesty, scammers, a people without history has no future. That is one I actually believed and I supported. Then one Madaki said, a nation without history is an evil plan by such regime. Please go ahead and introduce history in our schools, Your Excellency. One Diego Daniel says, history is very important. For example, many children today don't know that aside Egypt, there was also a pyramid built in Enugu. History will help in understanding your root and the heritage it carries. One Olubumi Olubawo says, "Thank you, Governor Samuel Ortom. Yes, great evil had been done, and greater and unimaginable evil was intended. I think the deficiency in the understanding of history and cultural values have contributed to social disintegration, moral decadence, loss of value, wrong attitude to important issue, lack of understanding among youth, loss of identity, youth making wrong choices, etc. Now we need to start rebuilding. It is a huge task, but we must start. Every indigenous tribe particularly the Southern and Middle Belt, but also the North. We need to do away with religious sentiment that becloud our judgment and stand in the way of development, prosperity, and posterity. We must be determined to keep our indigenous tribe alive and striving, and not to succumb to sudden or gradual ethnic cleansing. May God grant us wisdom to deal with the current security challenges. When all this is over, all hands must be on deck to rebuild. Let our leaders and elders and youth wake up to the realities and work to avert the imminent evil. Let us all look at the past, consider all events to understand why we are in such a terrible situation. We must learn from previous mistakes too. Everyone must understand that a man's land of origin is his most valuable earthly asset, and he must do whatever is required to preserve it. Most importantly, we must make the right decision at the critical time. This was from another person again, So, listen, guys, when I saw this news yesterday, the first thing that came to my mind was this. I'm going to tell you guys. The first thing that came to my mind was this. Why did they take away history from curriculum? Why did they take away vernacular from curriculum? I just said, okay, the reason why they did that is because they already had a plan ahead. An agenda is already unfolding. Don't forget that before the coming in of Usman Dafodo in 1804, in the northern part of Nigeria, the Hausa have a language called the Hausa language. Basically, they speak the Hausa. Okay? Now, and when they came in, they knew that there was no way they can be able to change their language, because the entire geographical location in the north actually speak Hausa language. So they left the language to remain, but came and introduced a political religious culture on them. Now in the south, they knew our identity is our language. What makes me to know I'm a Benin man is because I speak Benin. And my history is what also gives me so much courage and pride when I talk to people that I am a descendant of Pa Itu, the progenitor of the Benin race. Now, but the moment I lost this old value or this old historical facts about who I am, then I become a vagabond, a man that has no destination. And the moment there is an invasion of whatsoever sort on us, the identity can be easily wiped away without nobody actually knowing who we were before that time. Now, if you're a Benin man, for example, you don't speak Benin, you just only speak English. And if you are being invaded by these people and they finally captured that city, because you don't even speak your language before now, the language will go into extinction. So automatically, you don't have a culture. You don't have a background anymore. You are nobody as far as the world is concerned. So I'm encouraging everyone, if you're in the South, particularly the Southerners, let's keep our language alive. Let's tell our children the history of who we are. Let them know what we are. Let's reveal some secrets about our identity to these people. it will give us so much hope and aspiration that our tomorrow will be better and greater than today. But if history and the language is being removed the way it is today, it has only created a lot of disaffection among people. It has made some people to believe that they are Lord over others, which is not supposed to be. Okay, guys, now let's look at the next news right now because of time. The next news right now, the adoption of certain Nigerian government resolution. SASA Speaker Forum speaks. Okay? So the South Speakers Forum at its virtual meeting held via Zoom on Wednesday, 12th May 2020, appraised the resolution and recommendation of governors of Southern Nigeria based on their review of the situation in the nation in general, as contained in a communique dated 11th May 2021, and resolved as follows: that the forum support and adopt in totality the resolutions of the Nigerian Southern governors as they are in the best interest of the nation and its people. That the governor resolution shall be accorded appropriate legislative backing within the ambits of constitutional power by the State House of Assemblies of the South. That the forum sees the recommendation offered by the governors as useful input capable of helping resolving the nation in lingering contention, and urge the federal government to consider them. And that the forum commend the governors' thoughtfulness in seeking partnership, collaboration, and cooperation for the development of Nigeria. End of quote. Now, do you know, since that very particular resolution was made, Buhari hasn't spoken on it. So this is a guy we actually call our president, who do not show up when things are being destroyed. How can you imagine the certain governor came up with a resolution and said, we are banning open grazing in our place. We want you to do all you want to do and get things done to the support of the people. And I expected this man by now to have kind of show up and speak on it as a leader. But he hasn't done that. But he had a time. He had a time to speak with the president of Turkey for 2 hours on issues that is happening in the Middle East that has nothing to do with Nigeria. That's how myopic our leaders are. That's how they see us to be. Particularly the elites from the north. They see the South as a conquered territory. They see us as a second-class citizen in our own lands. So they don't take us serious even when we speak. That's why I'm trying to encourage the entire Southern governors to take this resolution serious. If you fail to take this resolution serious, you will never be respected or appreciated ever again. If you fail to carry out the basic resolution you made, which is within your constitutional power, like the banning of open grazing in the South, if you fail to make it workable, then northern elites will never for once respect you or your thoughts ever again. So I am asking you guys, do the needful. And this is the governor, we've not heard you talk on this after that very particular meeting. Others are speaking. Okowa spoke. Abia State governor has spoken. Wike has spoken. Please do not fail the Edo people. We are tired of our mother being killed. We are tired of our sisters being raped. I know you have actually been listening to some of my advices and you have been working accordingly. I want to appreciate you for that before I continue. The last time I did a video about the Ekehuan Road and the Ossiomo power plant and about the street light, and you came during the Zoom meeting and you relay everything what you have for us. I want to say a very big thank you for your listening ear, because I know every leader that listens to his followers will never go astray. Because some of us, we are openly supporting you, not for what we are going to benefit from the government. I have said it with that uncountable number that I am not interested in being part of any government in as far as the Nigerian political setting is concerned today, because it does not tally with the kind of person that I am. I can't stand what I'm seeing today. It is disgusting to me. That's the truth of the matter there. Because I do not believe that going into politics is to make money. I believe that going to politics is for service to the people. So if the intention of anyone is to go into politics and make money, then Stephen can be part of it. If I can't speak my mind when things are wrong because I'm being appointed by a government, Stephen can be part of it. If corruption has become eminent in the government and I don't have the legal right to resign honorably, Stephen can be part of it. That is kind of the kind of human being I am, and that's why I am very careful in going into anything that I feel it will not go well with my moral, standard as a person. So, having said that, I want to also say, let us put this into law. Thank God, all the speakers in the South have already sat down. I mean, in the southern part of Nigeria, have already sat down and they have decided to follow suit with the declaration of their leaders, during the Asaba declaration of May 11, 2020. Let us hold on to it. Let us make sure that we bring this to pass. That at the end of the day, the South will be free from intimidation, from harassment, from kidnapping, from raping, from maiming, and from killing of our people in our villages and in our forests. Let all of you guys start speaking. Don't keep quiet. Don't play politics with this. Don't play lip service. The North will not respect you. The people there will not respect you if you don't take a very drastic action. This is the first time the South is actually uniting in making one unique decision. Take stand on this. Make it workable. You're going to see the Nigerian state progressing, because we are actually the driver of the Nigerian nation. The South is actually the driver of the Nigerian nation. But we have failed to actually pilot the affair of Nigeria to the right direction. That is why you see the train has derailed from its way. Having realized that right now you have the power based on the fact that your region actually produces what the 95% of what keeps the nation going, both internal generated revenue and from the oil revenue. Because Lagos, Port Harcourt, are actually the major hallmark where billions and trillions of naira are being generated to take care of the entire nation under the internally generated revenue, formula. And the Niger Delta makes up of about 6 or 7 states are actually the golden end that laid the golden egg that is used to feed other parts of the nation. So 95% of the resources of this nation is actually coming from your zone. So you must know who you are. You must know the position you occupy in this federation. You must take advantage of that position and put it before the table. And the people of the South are solidly behind you guys if you do the right thing. I'm very sure tomorrow, if you do the right thing, all these agitators and all, they will queue behind you and defend that which is being promulgated to defend the common man in the southern part of Nigeria. This has been my motto since last year, October or so. I'll be crying out, fighting for the United Southern Nigeria. And for the first time in my life as an old man, I've been able to see the South coming together, speaking in one voice, not minding, political affiliations. Everyone, they put their political affiliation aside and decide to speak for the interest of their people. And that has given me so much joy and confidence to come out to this. So yes, let us continue in this manner. We might have something bigger, better to actualize if we decide to unite as one indivisible family. Okay, guys. So the next one here is why I won't link NIN to my phone number, Aisha Yusuf. Why I won't link NIN to my phone number, Aisha Yusuf? Why I won't link NIN to my phone number, Aisha Yusuf? That's what she said there. Let's see what she have to say in that very particular this Aisha Yusuf, she's also a very controversial woman also. She's also from the south. She's not an Hausa woman. No. She's from Edo State. Aisha is from Edo State. You know that, but she's married to a Northerner. Okay, so she's not Hausa woman. She's from Edo State, married to a Northerner. You must always know that. He said activist Aisha Yusuf has said that she will not link her national identification number to her phone number as required by the federal government. According to Yesufu, linking her NIN to her phone number will have her information in the control of a terrorist sympathizer and his cohort. She disclosed this in a tweet with the hashtag party must go, which demand the sacking of and restriction of the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Issa Patame. Now, that's our own. And we are all crying for Issa Patame to go. But Buhari have refused him going. We have all cried for Issa Patame to leave. But to Buhari has said he's not going. He has refused to listen to us. Because that's the kind of nation we find ourselves today. When a leader doesn't listen to the people, all the leader does is just to keep quiet and never allow the people will to be done. Now, a man has been a sympathizer to Islamic, group, and it was known, it was figured out what a responsible and a reasonable government would have done is to ask him to step down or to get him fired from the cabinet. Buhari never does that because Patame is his kingsman. Not just that, Patame had the same ideology as President Muhammadu Buhari. So to him, Patame is actually there to actualize his dreams and aspirations. That is if Muhammadu Buhari is actually the one that is in control of the nation. Because to me, I think Muhammadu Buhari is not controlling Nigeria. The Kabas is actually doing it. Because of Muhammadu Buhari head situation, they took advantage of him, and now they are using that against him. Okay, guys? So let's go to the next news again. Say Southerners are not second-class citizens. Wike vow to implement ban on open grazing. That's one other thing one guy I love again. Governor Wike. It might have been used, or it might have fallen victim to the manipulation of the caliphate sometimes. But he always, is always protective of his people. Okay, so I'm going to read that now. Rivers State Governor Wike, Yesufu Wike, on Saturday said there is no going back on decision of certain governors to ban open grazing across the region. The governor met in Asaba, Delta State, on Tuesday and agreed to ban as part of the effort to solve the farmer elder crisis sweeping the country. I do not know why the North are not understanding where these guys are going to. That is my problem. I'm trying to figure out why aren't they understanding where these guys are heading towards. Their people are being killed, guys. Their people are being killed. They've been helpless for 6 years. The death of their people brought rise to agitations all over the South. The marginalization of these people, the infantry being displayed by these elders, makes the youth to become restive, to become impatient. And now they are beginning to attack their own leaders. So the leaders knew that after election, they have a home. After election, they will have a people. They can't disappear from their land after they would have finished their term in offices. they must return back home to their villages and to their towns. The question they are thinking in their mind is if they have elapsed their time as governors, senators, as of rep, whatever position they occupied before, are they returning back home to their people? If they are going to return back home to their people, so that is where the work is for them. They started saying now, I cannot sit down and allow my people to be killed, and I could not do anything. It actually sat down to now look at it. What is actually the problem between that's actually creating this whole thing? It is the marauding, the moving about of cattle in the south. Get that into your head. You say, we hate the Fulanis. And I said, we never hated them before now. What brought about the hatred is the rate at which you guys addresses their issues anytime they commit a crime. The Fulani has never been a problem to a Southerner. Rather, we have been of immense help to them years back when we were growing up. They lived among us. Development have not also gotten to this level that it is today. I showed a video yesterday. A cow was in an hospital in Nigeria. What I'm trying to say is this. Southerners have said, we do not want you to take your cow on the street. They didn't say, don't rear your cow on a ranch in the south. They said, we do not want you to take your cows on the street of the south. You can rear your cows in the south, buy land, fence your land, make all your provisions by yourself, because cattle rearing is not a federal business. Cattle rearing is not a state business. Cattle rearing is not a local government business. Cattle rearing is a private owned business, owned by private individuals. So they should be ready to pay the cost of taking care of their businesses. There are people in the south that have pig farming. There are people in the south that have poultries, snails, grass cutters, fish, and what have you. These people actually pay every kobo of the establishment of these businesses, this agricultural business, this agricultural husbandry by themselves, without the support of the state or the federal government, even the local government. From land to constructions and to stocking is being done by these people. Why do the Fulanis now think that because the idea they have is this, they own the land, so you don't have to tell them what to do? Why the Fulani now thinks that the Southerners, who are even short of lands, should not give them land for them to establish their private businesses where they make money? I've asked a question, and I want somebody to tell me, if you're not an here, please, how much do they actually pay as tax? How much do these people, the cattle owners, the cattle proprietors, how much do they actually pay as tax to their host communities? How many of the destructions of farmlands have they actually compensate the owners for? I remember when we were growing up, I have a farm at the back of my father's compound, because my father had a very big compound. I had a very big farm at the back of my father's compound. Do you know one thing? Elders make sure, then they make sure that the cattle doesn't go into people's farms, even when you are not there. It was like, and if they mistakenly run into your farm when you are not there, the elders will come to the owner of the farm and speak with them. Yeah. I remember one scenario then that was around, early 80s. Destroyed at the back of a house, a very big farm that was a by 100 plot. They ate all. It was a mistake. The cattle rearer guy, the header, came to the woman with the owner of the cattle to discuss modalities on what they're going to pay her. I remember at the end of the day, they gave this woman two young cows, those small ones. I just gave birth as a compensation for what their cattle did. He gave her two young cows to not train. I didn't want to have those cows then. But one died, at least one survived to become very big. So they weren't coming to kill the woman as it is now. They come, they negotiate, they pleaded what had happened and how they're going to sort the situation out. So if this was what was happening, if the way it is now, that's the way it has been for a very long time, I don't think some of us would have grown up to meet open grazing. If the way and manner the Fulanis cattle herders are actually acting today was the way they acted in those days, I am not sure that by today, some of us that grew today would have grown to meet this open grazing in Nigeria. It means the president and the leadership of the Miyetti Allah Cattle or Miyetti Allah Cattle Association and the Sultan of Sokoto and all these political jobbers and religious fanatics in the north should sit down and start asking themselves what actually went wrong. Why would the south now, after over 100 years of cattle business in the south, why would they just wake up one day and they are now fighting against the Hausa Fulanis from rearing their cattle in the south? If they think of that, maybe they will get a solution. Let's go. The River State Governor, Mr. Wike, said there is no going back on the decision of Southern Governor to ban open grazing across the nation. This decision will be frowned. This decision will be frowned upon in some quarters. For a former executive secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme, quota system, Professor Ossiomo Yesufu criticized the move, saying the government did not consult with the Fulani, a tribe renowned for nomadic cattle rearing. Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello on Friday also suggested that a ban on open grazing should only be implemented when there are adequate plans for cattle ranching. But speaking at the civic reception organized in his honor by the Ogoni ethnic nationality of Rivers State in Bori, headquarters of Kanan local government area on Saturday, Wike said the decision was cast in stone. Look, I have been in government. I am in opposition. Nobody can cow me, he said. Magnus Ibe, they know that government cannot cow me. I will say what I will say. I will do what is right for my people. Nobody will do me anything. I will die the day God says it is my day. Nobody can take my life when it is not for me to die. So let nobody be afraid. Let me also use this medium to say, all those who are saying, why should certain government ban grazing? I have taken further steps to fulfill what the Senate governor said in Asaba. If anybody wants to die, go and die. We have taken a position and we must not, and we are not going back. Enough is enough. We are not second-class citizens of this country. We also own this country. We must partake in what is happening in this country. Meanwhile, Wike and also tackle the federal government on the implementation of the Ogoni environmental cleanup exercise. You have said you are coming to clean Ogoni, he said. Move your office from Port Harcourt and come to Bori. You cannot talk about cleaning up a place and you keep your office in another area. Bring your office from Port Harcourt and come and stay in Obori so that you can hear and see the feelings of these people. It is very important. So I also want every other certain leaders to actually take the same to take the same step also to make sure they actually carry out that same particular uh, uh, resolution that was reached in Asaba. We need it right now. We need it right now. If you do that, there's going to be less level of agitation in the south. I can promise you guys that. If you do that, there's going to be less agitation in the south. What is creating problem in the south today is because we are tired of this humiliation. Okay, guys, that's the problem there. We are tired of this humiliation by these people. Okay. Delta State, Okowa, Nigeria unity. Banning on open grazing, restructuring will strengthen Nigeria unity. Sorry, guys, I'm having some network issues here. Like I said in my video on Saturday, I said restructuring will only be possible if a referendum is carried out. Let our leaders stop playing to the galleries. Let our leaders stop playing to the galleries. It is high time they understand the position of the youth in this modern day government. It would be so nice for them if they can go back and see what happened during the Lekki or the NSAS protest. That to show the formation of this present youth and how far they can go in the government of today. Okay? In this present world that we have today now, the youth are becoming so sophisticated that it's better they start listening to the youth. We need a referendum. Referendum doesn't mean it's going to bring about a breakup. Like I said, Ireland, Scotland, they are all asking for referendum. We need the referendum to actually know how we want to establish our relationship. Because the referendum will not give a part. Because without us having a referendum, you not have a restructure, some group of criminals will hijack the process. And that will be tantamount to the original intents of the restructuring. But when there's a referendum, the people will not become paramount in the entire process. Because then the people will not decide what they think they want. That is what the leader that will be appointed will take to the table in discussing the way forward for United Nigeria. What I think we need today in that nation is United States of Nigeria. What I know, I believe we need in that nation today is United States of Nigeria. Because you cannot have 230 ethnic groups in a nation, and you feel that 3 ethnic groups should overlord the other 220 something ethnic groups. You're already making a mistake. That is the genesis of the war, internal crisis. But if every ethnic group is now being recognized, if not just all, but to some reasonable extent, peace and normalcy will come back to Nigeria. You can see, for an example of it that come from Benin, you see Rukbe had replied about over a statement that Abat made in one of his videos, and you see what it is. That is just how it is. Just because we are different people being forced together. So we must understand how we are going to live as one indivisible group of people. And that is where I want the federal government to start thinking. I also accept, I use the word accept, The caliphate, who are actually opposing to restructuring and referendum and true federalism, do not actually love development. If you love development in a state, in a nation where you feel you can benefit, you should do the best for the state to grow. Because when the economy grows, everybody benefit from it. This will give you a room to look inward on what is best in your region and work on it. Israel is a desert, but yet they farm. Yet they farm. Saudi Arabia, Iran, they're all deserts, but yet they farm. So you can also decide to bring up something out of nothing and make your region profitable and workable, just like it was before the invasion of the Nigerian government system in 1966. We have the canopy, the natural canopy pyramid. We have the cocoa exploit in the west. They will not have the coal in the east. That's how we all succeeded independently, not depending on one another before the discovery of petroleum at Eloibiri in 1958. From there, the whole thing changed. Nigeria became a useless state, who's now depending solely on oil from the south. And every other person there becomes lazy and also not having the ability to think anymore. This is where the Nigerians actually lost it. Because we put all our hope now on getting quick money. Nobody was ready to not think. Before the coming of the Nigerians were actually very intelligent people who think very fast. They were smart people. But every people, they become billionaires without they don't actually have a source of a legitimate source of income. That destroyed the entire thing that brought us to our knees today. That's what make them not to become so lazy that they are not, doing anything possible to make sure that the South doesn't go. In 1953, the North was ready to leave Nigeria. It was the South that wanted to go and beg them. Yes. When our father, Chief Tulinaro, raised a motion for independence in 1956, he wanted to go. It was the South actually went there to go, okay, no, guys, you don't need to go. They not talk to them. They not okay, we're going to have independence. We can have independence in 1959. They're not ready yet. So they gave independence to the South, the West, and the Southeast. Like I said, if this old brouhaha that is happening today was happening then, the Southeast would have just gone without not having to be part of Nigeria. So what was that actually brought them together? That have been lost in the relationship. They sought the taste that brought Nigeria together have become soured. If we must have a Nigerian state, we must return back to check what happened. And that can only be done if the people speaks. You should allow us to say our mind. Referendum is the way before restructuring. Restructuring will not solve the problem, but referendum will. If we do it in a very wonderful way, we might not break Nigeria. People might decide to listen and sit again on the round table talk for the new way to go. When the husband and wife had issues in their marriage and they decided to sit down, the first thing they do, they have to rethink again how they started. They have to explain everything that have transpired, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Then the moment they succeeded in doing that, they should not present it before themselves. They don't know where each one makes a mistake. Okay, this is what my wife doesn't like, I have to avoid it. This is what my husband doesn't like, I have to avoid it. And that is how relationship have been built. But the moment that is not there, it is next to impossible for there to be peace, harmony, tranquility in a nation. So when the South are actually calling for restructuring and banning of some very extremist idea, it's not because they hate the North, but it's because they want the best for the North. But the Northerners do not actually want the best for themselves. Believe it or leave it. We are actually the one that want the best for the North because we feel what is happening today is not to the interest of the entire nation. So if you don't want the nation to break because of what you are benefiting from the nation, you must do everything possible to make the people who are on the other side to be comfortable and be happy. There must be entire inclusiveness. And that can only be done by restructure, by referendum before restructuring. Because the restructuring will not give rise to the dissolution of power. But the first is referendum. What does the people want? What do they want right now? What are they thinking? What do they really want to get? How do you want us to live together? What system do you want us to adopt? That's what referendum will say and bring. Then when that is not be done, that's the only way you can restructure based on the line that the people have adopted. Okay, the Delta State Governor Yesufu on Saturday said the decision of the Southern State Governor to ban open grazing and call for restructuring was geared towards strengthening the unity of Nigeria. I believe that. The governor made the comment on Saturday at an event in Asaba. The Southern Governor had met on Tuesday in Delta State to discuss critical issues, including the former Ida crisis, which has caused rupture across the country. A former executive secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme, quota system, Professor Ossiomo Yesufu, criticized the move by the governors to ban open grazing, saying they did not consult fulani herders. On Friday, Kogi State Governor Yesufu, while appearing on China's television policy today, also said governors should be careful in how they approach the issue of restructuring. But Okowa, who had hosted Tuesday meeting, said the Southern governors were only re-echoing the voice of their people. We thank all of our brothers in the South for coming together to speak for our people. The things that we have said are not new. It is just the voice of our people that we have continued to echo. But unfortunately, I read in the papers that somebody says we ought to talk to about certain things, being elected people. If the voice of our people have been heard madly and they have continued to talk, and you are an elected person and you shy away from giving further voice to their voices, then you ought not to be in the position that you occupy. Beautiful. Beautiful. You are representing us. This is where, you see, this is where the Nigerian government missed it. When Yabili was talking, he was talking like a moron. He was talking like a born fool. No, he was just talking like a guy who is intellectually deficient. Okay, guys? I think that's the best one I'm going to use for him. He has intellectually deficiency. Was intellectually deficient. So, because people like that guy thinks that when you are in government, you are bigger than the people. No. When you are in government, you are the people's servant. They actually gave you their mandate to go and represent them. And then the people begin to say, we don't want this. It is within your power to make sure that that thing they said they don't want is actually done for them. That's how it works. I don't want this. I don't want this. You must do what I want. Okay? So I love what it says. So you say we affirm that as a people, as elected governors, we believe in the unity of our country. But we also went forth to advance the need for certain things to be done in order to give strength to that unity. That cannot be as a reason for us to be verified. Obviously not. We talk about restructuring, which has been on the table for so long. Both the voice of the PDP and the APC itself had endorsed restructuring. And restructuring is an inclusive and all-encompassing. We may have different views, different approaches to restructuring. But when we sit on the table in dialogue, that I said now, it becomes a referendum. We will be able to agree best what is good for Nigeria and what is good for the component part of Nigeria. Now, before there could be a dialogue, for you to sit for a dialogue, you must consult your people. That is where referendum comes in. What do your people actually want in the new Nigeria that you are about to build? What do you want? You must know what people want in the new Nigeria that you're about to build. That's the truth of matter. That is why your people must be inclusive. Call these agitators together. Ask them. I don't know why. Our leaders are so egoistic in nature. Call these people, ask them, why are you agitating for a separation? What are your problems? What are your demands? How do you want us to solve this problem? They will tell you their mind. And at the end of the day, results will be eminent. That is what we want. First and foremost, we appreciate the banning of open grazing in Nigeria, in the South. That will reduce the tension between our people and these fulani herders. It also gives us the room to know who the kidnappers are. Because the moment there is no more open grazing in the South, every man you see in the forest is a kidnapper. And the law will take its full course on such a one. That time you will not blame Eastern Security Network for killing Fulanis in the forest if they are caught. Because the moment you are asked to leave the forest and buy plot of land and have your cattle being put there, and you decided to still remain in the forest, then if you are being caught by the hunters in the South, you'll be tagged a kidnapper, which is creating much problem for the Nigerian state. It's simple and pure. Amatokun will catch you, he will eliminate you. The Edo Vigilante group will catch you, you're gone. So this is what we want, and I think this is workable for every one of us. Now, let's look at one thing I saw yesterday. I was ashamed. Buhari have not been able to take off his people. He's prognosing in the affair of Palestine and Israel. Okay? Said, I believe Nigeria will stand with Palestine against unscrupulous Israel. Erdogan tests Buhari. Please, you guy from Turkey, do not listen. See, let me say this now. Do you know why they do this? Because they believe Nigeria is an Islamic state. Babangida actually made Nigeria to become an Islamic state during his time as a military head of state. So they believe that Nigeria is an Islamic state, so they want Nigeria to be part of this evil that they are perpetrating in the world today. What has other states got to do with? All you need to do is how we can bring peace back to between Palestine and Israel. Not wanting to find people who's going to join you. If Buhari go ahead and join, it will be a very, very deadly thing. Okay. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan says he believes Muhammadu Buhari, his Nigerian counterpart, will stand with Palestine in teaching Israel a lesson. On Friday, Erdogan had a conversation with Buhari by phone asking that Nigeria, as a member of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, stand with Palestine, another member of the organization. President Erdogan spoke by phone with President Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria, exchanging Hide Hafitri greetings. The two leaders discussed bilateral relations and regional development. The Turkish presidency tweeted on Friday. Drawing attention to Turkey's effort extended in order for the international community to teach the necessary lesson to unlawful, unjust, and unscrupulous Israel due to its attack against Palestine, President Erdogan voiced his belief that Nigeria will show solidarity with the Palestinians in this rightful cause. Erdogan had also put a call through the president of the head of states of Libya, Afghanistan, Iraq, Kyrgyzstan, Malaysia, North Cyprus, Uzbekistan, Pakistan, Algeria, and Russia. So this man wants war and is dragging Nigeria into it. And Nigeria has nothing to offer. And President Muhammadu Buhari is there listening and looking at his ear to go and get involved in a war that has nothing to do with you. Muhammadu Buhari, Nigeria never reached to die. Please stay off Israel's problem. You have not been able to deal with the internal security challenges that you have. You want to get yourself involved in what will give you more problem. Please stay off problem. Now look at one thing I love here. I believe that they should listen to these people. Southern governor ban Miyetti Allah tells governors, northern governors to revive the 400 inactive grazing reserves. 400 inactive grazing reserves in the north. 400. Do you know how many hectares? I'm going to read it for you now. Please, guys, the north has an agenda to take the little land left of the south. You have these reserves everywhere. Why do you not ask them to stay there? Why are you forcing them on us in the south if there is nothing fiction about what people are planning to do? If there's actually nothing fishing about what you people are planning to do to the Southerners. Now look at it now. The Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria is already seeking alternative ways for pastoralists among its fold. This association moved is based on the blanket ban on open grazing by the southern governors from forum across southern Nigeria. The group said the action of the southern governor is a wake-up call for their colleagues in the northern Nigeria to revive grazing reserves in the north. Please, I beg you, Kaduna State Governor, Ganduje, Masari, Tabua, Malia, wherever, all of you, please, we are begging you, revive your reserves. Take these people back to the north. If we need cows, we'll come and buy cows from the north. We are begging you guys. Okay? The Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria has reacted to the grazing ban by certain government forum. The association said the North cannot afford to ignore the recent unanimous decision of certain governors to place ban on cattle grazing in their states. National Secretary of Miyetti Allah Baba Usman told the nation that northern governors must rise up to the challenges by working out a solution of their own that will be generally acceptable. So now it's what? We can't ignore the unanimous demand of the entire government of the South on particular issue. If the Southern governors can be in agreement on that, on an aspect, that means it is an issue and observe and deserve to be given serious attention. In a situation where the entire Southern populace is synonymous with a particular aspect, I think this aspect deserves to be given attention. But the North governor needs to speak up with their Southern counterpart so that they can come up with a solution that is generally acceptable. Okay, that was from the Miyetti Allah. Please, guys, revive the 400 and something. Grazing. He said, look at it. He said he noted that the grazing reserve, which covered the area of 5 million hectares, 5 million hectares in the north, should be reactivated in the interim before consideration, which may take a longer time and process to complete. Meanwhile, the State Governor Senator Ekehuan on Saturday 15th said resolution reached at the Southern Governors Forum meeting held in Abuja be for the good of Nigeria. 500 million hectares. 1 hectare is 2.5 acres. 1 hectare is 2.5 acres, and 1 acre is 6 plots. 1 hectare is 2.5 acres, and 1 acre is 6 plots. So you do the mathematics yourself. How much land that they have in the north? That will tell you how much land they have in the north. But yet, the little we have in the south, we are being dragged by these people. The Abia State government also said they're going to enforce the open grazing ban in Abia State. This is what we want. One situation whereby all these leaders in the south should make this to start working. If there is peace among our people are not being killed anymore, and there's equality, justice, fairness within the government, nobody will ask for the break of Nigeria. Okay, guys, then the last I have today is this one. I'm a little bit tired. I don't know why today. Then I will just go to some comment and I will close for today. A little bit tired, guys. Like I said, Obaseki, I did a video a few days ago, and I spoke on the issue of Edo State and areas that Obaseki should actually touch, in that my video. And I was surprised that yesterday somebody sent me this to me and said, Epa, this guy, this thing you were talking about, Obaseki said it during the Zoom meeting that they actually had, with people in the diaspora. And I said, okay, I need to also read it to you guys to say, okay, that was a welcome development. I want to say these things should be done as fast as possible, so at least the Benin can be lit up again, and the plight of the people that is actually flying that Ekehuan road can come to life again. Okay, basically to connect Ossiomo power plant to residential area, 70 kilometer straight light, assured or speedy completion of Ekehuan road. The state governor, Dr. Gordon Obaseki, Mr. Gordon Obaseki, has assured of plans to connect residential areas and 70 kilometer straight light to the 55 megawatt CCETC Ossiomo power plant in Benin City for supply of 24-hour electricity. Please, Mr. Governor, we don't want this to end on the page of newspaper. We want to start seeing reality, if not even all the Edos. We want to start seeing realities along the area, Supply Road, Airport Road, the entire GRO area, or Selah Passenger until Uboazit. Those areas, are very key, in the Benin, metropole. So this area should be lit up with light, and the streets of Benin should also be lit up with light. We want to see that 70 kilometers street light. That's beautiful. That's fantastic. That will give us a lot of hope. It also reduce the level of crime in the city, because when there is darkness, that's where crime actually flourish. Okay, so if you can do that, then you've actually taken us away from a lot of stress and issues that have been bothering us as a state. Okay, Obaseki gave the assurance during the Edo State Town Hall meeting with the Transition Committee members and the stakeholders from across the world via Zoom meeting. He said the Ossiomo power plant is on. It is what is being used in Government House. We are trying to create an electricity commission with laws that will allow them to settle people outside of the state government facilities. Secretarial building and government houses are being powered by Ossiomo. It is on and working. We have a project to put about 70 kilometers of street lights around Benin City. These contractors are working on that. It is going to be powered by Ossiomo power plant. We have to change the law to enable a distribution company to move the power from Ossiomo to your own homes. But that is what we are working on. Before long, the law should be passed with the necessary regulatory permit obtained so that we can get power to individuals. Be rest assured that the turbines are there and are firing, the governor added. On the dualization of the Ekehuan road project, the Obaseki noted, we are not owing the contractors. We are not owing the contractors. So now, if you live in the Ekehuan houses, tell those guys who are doing that road to speed it up. If they are not owing them, they should not keep our people in perpetual suffering. They should not allow people's vehicle to be destroyed. If it was in a developed world, they pay for every vehicle damage on that road. That's the truth, guys. In Sweden, when they are making a road, they make a provision, they make a temporary road for them that they are going to go through. Temporary road. We have enough money to complete the project. Major work has been done. It is just left for the surfacing. The paving has been done. I won't be surprised if they come to site to finish up on time. They better do. And we'll be so pleased. The rain, particularly in April, were quite treacherous and may have slowed down the pace of work for them. I want to assure you that funding is not a problem for the project. We have raised the bond early this year, and part of the fund is for the project. The money is there in the bank for the money is there in the bank to fund the contractors. So, if the money is there in the bank, then you, Mr. President, sir, I think, Governor, sir, I think you should set up a community mobilization or inspection unit within the community of Ekehuan to actually be on site. People are ready to do it for free. If you are not owing them, people are ready to do it for free, to go there and pressurize them to make the necessary effort to make sure that this very particular project doesn't go beyond this year, 2021. You must give these contractors also an ultimatum. If you are not owing them, then give them an ultimatum. If they can't finish, if they can't go with ultimatum, then they should be executed from the contract, and some other capable hands should be brought in. This is how it's done in the developed world. There's a time frame. You don't beat the time frame. If you beat the time frame, there are consequences. You pay for it. I'm going to tell you this. In Sweden, I remember when they were doing the underground, not metro, this commuter train. You were supposed to open it around April or so. They couldn't do it due to some issues that nobody knows what is happening. You know that the contractor paid for it. They paid a lot of money to the government. I was also working in the hotel where I was working before I resigned now. They also give them a job to do, to fill some part of the hotel. The contractor couldn't finish it on time. The contractor was forced to pay the extra cost that was used in running the hotel due to their negligence. Yes. This is how it's done in the developed world. This will make these contractors to sit tight and actually want to do what they are requested to do. I appreciate you for this, and I want to say a very big thank you again. I love a governor that listens. I love a governor that listens to his people. They want to hear his people giving feedback, how they feel about his ways and manner of doing things. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate that very much. This is not the first time you're doing this. This is the second time you're doing it. Many of the times I put up a video, the next thing I see, you're already acting on it. I want to say a very big thank you, Your Excellency. But apart from that, I want to see something working in our state. We'll see that, that technocratic, touch on every aspect of Edo State. So that at the end of the day, they will not become another big, beautiful city in the nation. Thank you, guys. So let's just quickly run to Obas, that's what I'm saying. That's why I just told him now. You saw me saying that now. There must be a time frame. If you are not owing them, there must be a time frame. They cannot just do the work how they want. So there must be a time frame on the contract. So if you violate the contract time frame, you should pay for it. You should pay for it. It's simple and pure. So I think Nigeria should be able to do things. That's why I told you now that that's what I told you now that for me, I can't really be in Nigeria politics right now because my thinking is completely different. I think we are on a parallel line, the way Amala things have been done. People know me. They know me when I'm home. My workers know me, even when I'm in Nigeria. I am one hell of a guy who work with my workers. I'm a farmer. Okay? I work with them. I don't really hoot. And because I work with you, I also make sure that things are done the way and manner I expect it, and it's done when I want it to be. When, underline, very important. How I want it and when. I come up to join them. If they are not doing it the way I want, I jump into it to make sure they do it the way I want them to do it. And when. Because that very when is very, very vital in every contract in government. When is vital. Underline, that when is very, very vital. And that's what we are missing in the Nigerian setting. The people vehicles have been destroyed. I fly that route every day for 4 months. I was home. If you don't have an SUV, bros, I'm going to promise you are going to go to a mechanic every day. If you have an SUV, yeah, you might even survive for 1 week. But the shafts on the legs of your cars, it's gonna be damaged very soon. That's what the people pass through there. Many people have already abandoned their homes. Now we now know that the government is not owing, but the contractor is the one that is actually not wanting to spend the right money to do the job. So there must be a delivery time for every job. Okay, there must be a delivery time for every job. Yeah. Somebody said Satan can never go to the north and be commanding them. The north, I know, we never dance to their tune. Never. That's what we are saying right now. So if the north refuse to dance to their tune, the Satanans should not also allow the north to tell them what to do. Okay? If the north is not talking about what they need to do, the South should also give them the room to do what they do. Okay? Then somebody says, one Sylvia said, enter house, go and talk about Edo State development. Have you finished spending your $5,000? Oh, I don't know this guy or this lady. It is quite unfortunate that you see $5,000 as money. It's actually nothing. If you live abroad, you work. Many people get this as a monthly salary, lady. So to me, it is actually nothing. Okay? It's nothing. Many people get this as a salary at the end of the month. So if you take $5,000, it's hell of money. Sis, go to convert to Nigerian money. This money is not up to it's about 2.4 million naira. It can't buy you nothing. It can't even buy you a land in a good location in Edo State. So that ends that, lady. Okay? So that's worth nothing. It's worth nothing. Somebody said the truth of matter is Buhari is the problem of Nigeria. How you can give up top positions in a country of Christians and Muslims, but gave only Muslim. That's the issue. That's where the whole thing. That's what I'm saying now. Injustice, lopsidedness appointment is the cause. Nepotism, tribalism is one thing that. Yeah, he said if you speak, but these days, if you speak to Fulani elders, they won't listen to you, meaning they have evil agenda and Buhari is their leader. Yeah, I support that they have it very, they don't listen to you nowadays. They don't listen to you, my brother. Yes, he said that is a very important question, bro. I don't know when cattle business becomes a federal government, a federal appointment. The question now is how much do cattle owners contribute to the growth of the country's development? I don't even know. I don't know. That's my issue. It baffles me why the government would be so much interested in holding on to these people when actually I don't even know what they contribute, to the. Yes, an average full animal do not eat cattle. I believe you. I believe you, man. Yes, all the roads have stopped, but he just gave us a promise now that the roads are going to be put in place in a very short while. So we're going to wait for him and believe him. Okay, because why I brought that this very particular video art is because of the way and manner he spoke on the Saturday Zoom meeting, and I did a video on Friday, and on Saturday he was on the Zoom, and he actually spoke on what I talked about. So because I talked about Ekehuan Road on that day, I talked about the Ossiomo power plant on that day, I talked about the lifting up of the entire Edo from Sapele Road down to Ring Road and some major streets in Benin. If you remember, if you don't feel that follow me in that very particular video. So I spoke about all of this one, all this. Then on Saturday, during the Zoom meeting, he actually spoke about them. So that makes me to actually respect him. That at least he listens to his people. If he listens to his people, it means he takes time out to hear what we say. He might not listen to us. Maybe he has people who's actually following us, who get a clip where it's important, they cut it off and send to him. Then he patiently listens to them. I think that is a quality of a leader. So that is why I believe that he's working on it right now, and I believe let's believe him and let's give him time. Since he says it's not only owing the contractors, we want to encourage our people living along the axis of the Ekehuan Road to make the contractor to fasten up the job and give the people a very good road so that they can use during this very terrible rainy season time. So I think that's what I just see there. Okay, I think this is the end. This is the last comment I have here that we can talk about. Okay, somebody asked, sir, contributing for a new transformer, was it right? Because the old one is bad. Is that not the responsibility of the government? Now, let me say, Matthew Sibo, it is not the responsibility of the government to buy transformer. It's actually the responsibility of BDEC or whatever they call it. Okay, they are the one that is responsible to buy your transformer. So you pay for your transformer is not actually your legal right. Okay, but you can help to fix it if they are unable to do it. It's not a compulsory thing for you to do, but if you feel you cannot continue to live in darkness, you can support them in getting one, but not your job to get a transformer. It is the job of the electricity distribution company to actually provide you a transformer in the legal sense of it all. Even up to your meter that will buy. It's not your job to actually get a meter before. The meter was not supposed to be your property. The meter was supposed to be the property of the electric distribution company. But you know Nigerian system the way it is. You know Nigerian system the way it is. Because of greed and all that, they do not actually do what they ought to do. They leave everything for the consumers, and yet they still come and collect a tariff at the end of the month. I hope that answers your question, ma. Yeah, we don't know the areas yet, Mr. Fred. But I definitely know that airport road is. I mean, airport is going to be part of it. Definitely know that Siloko is going to be part of it. We have area before that Ossiomo actually put street lights on. So they are going to just revitalize those street lights and bring them back to work. Like Sapler Road, around the Rig Road, like Airport Road, like Siloko Road, those areas, TV Road area, they all have street lights that time. Those areas that have street lights, I think that's what the governor is talking about, sir. I think all our current leaders will kill you now and our generations. Amen. Everyone that doesn't want us to have life, let your prayer work on them, my sister Vivian. Yeah, it's important everywhere, but we cannot do everywhere at the same time, sir. We also who build houses, I said it before. Somebody attacked me, say, why would I say that? We also that build houses in some areas try to also create street lights. If I have a light, now we now have a solar light, solar street light. It's sold for 15,000 naira. 10 to 15,000 naira. Okay, and you can buy two. You can buy two at the front of your house. It's going to give a light to your house. Then if all of us do the same thing, we already created a street light. Even when there is light or there is no light, the solar light works. I have that also. It's not too expensive. It's about 10 to 15,000 naira per one. So you can buy two and just put, on a pole on top of your fence. So you then put it towards the street. The Adama does that. Then if everyone of us do that, we're already getting a light to those hidden streets that the government cannot go into. Because the government is going to concentrate on the major roads, as we all know. To the hidden streets now, we can do it on our own. Let every one of us buy two street lights, on a solar street light on our fences or in our compounds, and then we'll be able to create a security for our area. I think that's what I'm going to say on that. Don't know if there's any more question that you want me to answer, guys. Please just drop your question on the comment section, and we will attend to it. So the time for Mumu don't pass. I believe so much on that. Yes, we must rise to defend our land. We are great people. That's the truth. The SARS are great people. Benin are great people. I think the contractor are delaying the work because they want to keep the money to themselves. Yeah, they want to save as much as they can. The lesser people they employ, the more money they make. That's the problem. They pay per month. So not like here they pay per hour. So they just try to keep the money going so that they can get so much. So any more question that I need to talk about before I take a bow today? Any more question? Okay, thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys for today. And tomorrow is going to be another day again. You have a very blessed day. Thank you for your time. And bye for now.